Okay, so this is a recap of what happened from originally, how this whole shebang started, whatever you want to call it. I usually ride with the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation. In this particular trip, I was riding with the International Association of Chiefs of Police. And it rained all the way there, all the way back. A miserable freaking trip, and it was in November. So the trip there was fine. We went to the museum. It's about a 2 hour ride from the O'Hare Airport to the museum in Milwaukee. And it was raining pretty hard. We had the state police escorting us, and I kept hearing this banging sound, in my front end, and I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe that this fork had was leaking oil because I saw some fork oil at the top as I was riding, blowing back at me, and I figured, well, I'll just change the seal. Now, for anybody who's familiar with the seals, there's a seal right down in here that has like bushings and clips, and this piece actually separates. So what I did was I went online, I went to Dennis Kirk, and I bought, the kit with the seals and everything in there. And I actually bought some new springs too. These are progressive springs that I bought. I figured I put those in there. These cost like $100 a set, and this bushing kit only costs like $25. So I figured I'd go in there and change that, and that'll solve the problem. But when I finally got around to taking this apart last Sunday, as soon as I took the front wheel off, actually I slid the axle out and took the wheel off, this damn fork just fell out of there. So I didn't know what the heck was going on. So I know that down in the middle of this fork right here, there's some threading, and it threads right onto, there's like a piece right here, if you can see it, the threading on there. I tried screwing it back on there, and the thread is still good, so it actually goes on there. So I went to Harley Davidson yesterday, and I told them that I wanted to replace, I don't know if you can see, there's an O-ring right here. And this O-ring actually goes down into the top of that fork when you screw it back on there. And they had like a blow up of the whole assembly. And this, I guess this is, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, this screws out. And there's actually another seal inside of there, according to the blow up that they showed me. And I don't want to go through the trouble of taking the headlight off to get this off. So I'm just going to try to take this out with a crescent wrench to avoid having to take the handlebars off. Although I probably could have got a socket on there. So once I get that out, my plan is to get this piece back into the fork, take that spring out, replace it with one of those other progressive springs, all back together. As you can see, I haven't really made any progress at all. But while I got this thing apart, I want to show you the other stuff that I bought. This is the O-rings that I just showed you. And this is the seal that I can't see until I get that one out. And then they asked me, well, how much fork oil do you need? I was like, I don't know. So he said, well, if you're doing both forks, you're probably going to need 3 pints. So he sold me 3 pints. So this oil was actually like $8 a bottle from Harley Davidson. And these O-rings and seals or whatever, they're like $3 a piece. And that's the goal, to get all of this stuff in there by this evening. It's Sunday morning right now. So it's 11 o'clock. So hopefully by tonight, I'll have all of this stuff together and back in there. Those are the original wheels that were on my bike. The original wheels on this is the 2002 Fat Boy. Those are 16-inch wheels, and the tires are, the wheels are 16 by 3 inches, and the tire is actually, I don't know. Oh, it's 130, 90, 16. Those are, both tires are the same. 130, 90, 16. So this is the front tire that I changed and it's actually 21 inches. So it is a 120/70/21. That's the front tire. I also changed the back tire. So the back tire that I have on there, you can barely see it because of all of the crap surrounding it, is it's an 18-inch wheel. So the wheel is 18 by 4 1/4, and the tire is 160/60/18. So I was able to change out the wheels and the tires without even adding any spacers or anything. And it looks, pretty cool, especially the front wheel. But the only thing about the front was I had to put a spacer to raise up the front fender. This is the front fender right here, and this is the spacer that's on there. Once I get it all back together, you'll get a chance to see how it looks. But this just raises it up maybe like 1.5 inches. So that's the con of going to the 21-inch wheel. If I had went probably 18 like I did in the back, I probably wouldn't have needed to have done that. So man, this bike is filthy. But like I said, it was raining cats and dogs back in November when I brought it back, so I just parked it in the garage. I didn't clean it up at all. I didn't even look at it until the other day. And then once I get this fork assembly back together, I will clean it up real good. I was telling the guy at Harley Davidson what happened with the fork falling out. He said he's never heard of that before. So I guess I'm a pioneer when it comes to your fork falling off the front of your freaking bike with no explanation whatsoever. So yeah, once I get it all back together, I'll sum this video up.